what's new? What's new in my brain this week? A plane crashed like real close to my office. I work relatively close to the Deer Valley Airport, and apparently there was a small plane, like a single prop plane, taking off, and I'm not sure what happened, but they had a failure, and they apparently crashed right on the other side of the airport property. So like they were in the air over the runway, and they still, I guess they couldn't land it back on the runway in time. They were alive when they left. I don't know if they survived in the hospital or not, but the plane was torn to shreds, at least in the photos. I didn't actually see it. Probably should have gone over there, actually. I kind of wish I had ridden my motorcycle that day. It's scary when you see plane wreckage because you realize how brittle those things are. Or they're not really brittle, actually. They're pretty strong, but they're strong enough to do what they're designed to do, which is fly. If you crash it into something, it just falls apart like a balsa wood toy, pretty much. But it got me thinking about, like, if I was in a plane like that and I was in a remote area, what climate would I prefer to crash in? Because obviously Phoenix is a desert, and I was thinking if that guy had crashed in any number of other places, he would have had a hard time surviving out here. Let's say you crash in a desert, you don't bleed out and die from your injuries, you're okay. You would be in a situation where there is no water. Like, there is not even a chance of you finding water. So that's out. There are no clouds, and there are no trees, and you're unlikely to find a suitable rock, to offer you shade. So within hours, if you don't get out of the sun, which is nearly impossible to do, you're going to burn, and you're going to become more dehydrated, and things are going to go really bad for you really quickly if you don't know where you're going or how to get out of the area that you're in. So a lot of people, I think, would want to avoid cold, because you get wet and you could freeze and you get hypothermic and bad shit would go down. But I think if you crash in a cold climate, someplace with snow, you might actually have much better chances of surviving. And that's primarily because if you can stay dry, you can use the snow to melt down and hydrate yourself. And if you're in a forest, which you most likely are because most remote areas that aren't deserts include trees, you're likely to find wood, which you can use to warm yourself. And as in most forests, there's animals, so if you have any hunting or trapping experience, you might be able to get yourself something to eat. Although that's probably not likely for most people. I know I probably wouldn't be able to do it. But having water is what you really need, and having snow is having water. So you'd be in pretty good shape if you could stay dry and warm. So I don't know. Let me know what kind of climate you think you'd want to crash land in if you were in an airplane. For me, I can guarantee you it wouldn't be this place. Ooh. Anyway, I also don't think I would want it to be a jungle, because jungles are too dense, too many deadly things in jungles. But water would be easier to come by. I just think for me, being near a place with trees and snow would be preferable, even though there's the risk of getting wet and freezing. Thought maybe I can go down in there. It looks like there's a trail right in front of me, so I'm going to try to cross the road and go see what that is. It's kind of what I do when I go out for a ride. I go into an area with dirt, and then I keep riding around and try to find other areas with dirt. Oh, that's not good. I don't know where this goes. We're going to find out. I always like watching those shows where people have to survive in the wilderness, and reading and maybe learning a little bit about bushcraft, but I don't think I'd have the balls to really go out and try to catch my own food, find my own water. But I also don't have a place where I can do that. Ooh, look at this. And there is a dead bird on that tree. It seems unlikely that he died while this tree was falling. Birds are usually pretty good at taking off in sign of trouble. Unless he got struck with lightning. What was I saying? Oh yeah, survival and bushcraft and shit. Making your own shelter and trying to find food. Like, I think if I had an airplane and I was like flying, or if I had like a bush pilot job or something in Alaska, I'd have a backpack, like a backpacking bag if possible, with survival gear in it. And I would, if they'd allow it, I'd have a 20 gauge shotgun in there too. Potentially get myself some small game animals in the event of a survival situation, because those are probably the easiest thing to get. Like, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a squirrel if you go out and try to shoot a squirrel. Like, you just have to be probably more quiet than you think you do, but you'll fucking get one. I think it'd be fun to try that if I had backup or something, or some way to contact backup. It'd be an awesome experience, and I would love to take part in that. How did I get here? Look at this fuckface, man. He's going off-roading in the middle of the neighborhood. Take your time. I gotta find my way out of this neighborhood. Maybe I'll follow these guys. I found something else. I don't know what this is, but I found it. I'm getting way off topic here. I was trying to stay on a topic, but I just keep riding around and exploring weird things. It's like some kind of storage facility. Anyway, so I just got this 4-wheel drive, and I've been hoping to like take it on these like off-road trips to go camping and exploring and stuff, but I'm reading about some of these freaking trails, and all of it just seems so dangerous. It's like I feel like I'm in danger on this bike, but like when you're trying to tackle rocks in a 4-wheel drive, like that shit can get way sketchier. Unless you don't mind rolling your car and stuff like that. I don't know. I see all these lifted Jeeps and stuff, and I just wonder, like, how often do they actually use that lift? How often do they find that they actually are glad they bought that? Not that I would regret buying a lift, but I mean, it would look cool. But for 90% of what I'm going to do, I probably don't really need it. I gotta find some people to go drive with, teach me how to actually go off-roading and how to use a 4-wheel drive. If I can get all that taken care of, then I'll actually maybe make videos doing it. That would be fun. Alright.